Greetings, one and all. Glad to see you. This is a heavy conversation tonight. I wanted to wait and make sure everybody got home, so I pushed it back. I think this is very important. On top of that, it took a lot of research because once I looked at a couple situations, the list just kept getting longer and longer and longer. So we're going to talk about this because it's a serious situation. Health is a serious problem. Very serious problem. In our community, for sure. So we're going to talk about it. Good to see you. Malachi, more power. Space time. Hawkeye. Make sure you all go. Take the body sculpture challenge. Work out. Exercise. Record it. Post it with the hashtag body sculpture challenge. And post it on social media. You can also follow Body Sculpture Challenge on Facebook. You can join the group. Make sure you join the group and follow the page of Body Sculpture Challenge on Facebook. Post your workouts, put them over there. On Instagram, post the hashtag, although Instagram changed the way the hashtags work. That kind of messed us up a little bit. But still, we'll see you. You can always tag us at Body Sculpture Challenge and also on X at Body S Challenge. You know what I'm saying? On TikTok too. So yeah, health is a very serious situation. You know what I'm saying? Very, very serious. More serious than I think the general public is being told. I don't really think the general public is being told the facts about the situation. Good to see you, Jira. I think the general public is being left in the dark, to be honest with you. I would say, especially in the United States of America, I would say health in the environment are the top two most important situations in the United States of America. And I would say probably around the world, but especially in the U.S., where they're a little more lenient on what they allow to be sold in the food products. The health situation is horrible, and there's no record being kept of it. There is a record, but it's very vague, and it's not made available to the public. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of serious. To be honest with you. Rest in peace to Biggie Small's mother, Miss Wallace. She passed away, 72 years old. That's extremely young. That's extremely young. One of the main problems that's not helping us is our determination of old. We have a very bad way of looking at age. And we are programming people to believe that there's only two categories, young and old. And we've totally eliminated middle age. And because we've eliminated middle age, we've lowered our life expectancy mentally. Miss Wallace, she was only 72 years old. Tomorrow I turn 67. That's like 5 years from now. That's way off. Our people used to pass away. When our people used to pass away in their late 80s, that was considered an early death because people lived into their 90s was the standard. Many lived over 100. 80 was considered, you went a little soon. You lived a good life, but it was considered a little soon. My father passed away in his 80s. That was too early. And so, we don't have a good life expectancy. 72 is extremely young. 80 is young. You have to put it in the perspective of the timeline. And I think I need to write that down. I need to talk about that over here. Right? Because that is affecting us mentally. You know what I'm saying? Since your childhood to early 70s, did you ever envision the health conditions would reach levels this bad? Not really. I never thought about it. I never thought about it. And a lot of things we think of today, G-Ra, and I'm going to show y'all his question. A lot of things that we think of today is solely because of social media. That's why I said social media is great, depending on how you look at it and use it. A lot of things I'm talking about is 100% based on social media. Without social media, we used to see far less. The news came on in the morning. Morning news was only local, right? So morning news, G-Rod, was only local. It would tell you the weather. It would tell you the traffic. If there was something really horrible happened that night or the day before, early that morning, it would show that. There was no national news. At lunch, there was midday news, which was just like the morning news, just local news, same situation, tell you the traffic mostly, and update the weather. Then you had evening local news, same thing, gives you a rundown on what happened during that day, weather, sports, local stories. Then there would be NBC night news, NBC evening news, or ABC evening news, or CBS evening news. That would come on for 1 hour, and that would tell you what was going on in the country nationally, and what would any big story nationally or internationally, and that would be that 1 hour. And that began to change with the Iran hostage situation. Ted Koppel ended up staying on later and later and later and talking about it all through the night. And cable became popular, and boom, then you end up with CNN and all that, and that's how we got to how we got. But it was still the same stories regurgitated. But social media came, and social media allowed us to find stories in smaller publications, to find any story anywhere. Also, it allowed us to be news reporters, where people can go on and say, oh, this just happened in Chicago. Oh, this just happened here. So it expanded how much knowledge we got, which is a great thing if you use it correctly. Now, you all, I'm late. I was going to do this earlier because I was going to do this because of Irv Gotti. Had passed away. And I was just thinking about that, and it's just been quite a few people in the music industry have been passing away. And when I seen LeVar Ball, the Ball head of the family, get his foot amputated the other day, I said, wow, how, and they're not saying how he got an amputation, but, he got his foot cut off and all, and they won't tell why. And I'm like, how in the heck did he get his foot amputated? Right? I'm giving you this backstory on what made me get to this point to start even thinking about this. And it started with Irv, rest in peace to Irv. But what made my mind start really rolling about this was this story right here. LeVar Ball, father LaMelo and Lonzo, undergoes foot amputation due to health issues. And I'm like, what? So my mind started to spinning. And I started thinking about the people in the music industry. And you know, they're talking about Jay-Z, and Irv just had his ceremony, his funeral, and they talking about Jay-Z was there and all that. So I'm just thinking about all this. So I said, you know, I'm going to have to talk about this because the music industry, we're losing a lot of people based on their health. And so tonight I'm going to cover that. And I'm not going to even cover all of the ones that overdosed. I'm not going to even cover that. But that's the same thing. That's based on health. If you don't have a consciousness of health, that's like not having any markings on the freeway and no rails. So you don't know what lane you're driving in or nothing. So without any consciousness of health and without the constant desire to want to stay alive, you won't be aware of how many things around you could shorten your life. So although I try to get people to eat better, this is a holistic approach to staying alive. This includes awareness when you're driving. You have to be aware when you're driving. You have to drive defensively. You know, trying to make it through that yellow light, you might meet somebody that's running their red light. Bam. Then you have to think about what's in your food. What's in your food? What's in your products? All your products. Right? You need to know what's in your product, what's in all your products, what's on all the products, your clothing, your cookware, your bedding, your carpet. What about your pets? Are they carrying any type of parasites? Air quality. What are you drinking? How much alcohol are you consuming? Do you smoke cigarettes? Cigars? Blunts that are basically cardboard? That's not really tobacco. And so you have to have a holistic approach. Are you working out? Are you exercising? So we're just losing people left and right. We lost Irv Gotti. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti. And I'm just going to go through, and just remind you how bad this situation is. And that's without talking about or covering the people that passed away from overdoses. I mean, it's really bad. Who remembers the rapper Boss? Boss passed away at only 54 years old. 54. Kidney failure. 54 years old, kidney failure. That meant I would have been gone 13 years ago. The last 13 years I lived, she didn't get to live those 13 years. How do you get kidney failure at 54 years old? How? Make that make some type of sense. How? How does that happen? You tell me. I looked it up and it was just long. The list was long and crazy and sad. And the saddest thing about this list and these people is the ages, man. The ages. For example, Heavy D. Did y'all know Heavy D was only 44 years old? Did y'all know that Heavy D passed away at 44 years old from pulmonary embolism? They say, no, there's no evidence that rapper Heavy D had surgery. Heavy D died suddenly from a pulmonary embolism in 2011. The embolism was caused by a blood clot that likely formed in his leg during a flight. Heavy D, whose real name was Dwight Arrington Myers, was a Jamaican-born American rapper, actor, and record producer. He passed away at age 44 on November 8, 2011, outside his Beverly Hills home. An autopsy report stated that the cause of death was a pulmonary embolism caused by a blood clot in a leg. He also suffered from heart disease and deep vein thrombosis. The blood clot likely formed in his leg during a flight from London to Los Angeles, and which made its way fatally to his lungs. So I had to find out, what is a pulmonary embolism? What is that, okay? What causes pulmonary embolism? Pulmonary embolism is caused by a blocked artery in the lungs. The most common cause of such a blockage is a blood clot that forms in a deep vein in the leg and travels to the lungs, where it gets lodged in a smaller lung artery. So it's a blood clot that starts in your leg. Almost all blood clots that cause pulmonary embolism are formed in the deep leg veins. Clots also can form in the deep veins of the arms or pelvis. Sometimes blood clots form in surface veins, but these clots rarely lead to pulmonary embolism. In rare cases, pulmonary embolism may be caused by other substances. They include small masses of infectious materials, fat. It can be released into the bloodstream after some types of bone fractures, surgery, trauma, or severe burns. Air bubbles are substances that get into the blood from trauma, surgery, or medical procedures. Tumors caused by rapidly growing cancer cells. And amniotic fluid. So there's no telling what happened. I didn't do any research if he had broke a leg, or broke something recently, but I do know that I'm about 185, something like that, and I'm sitting, I talk a lot, and I do know that when your legs is on a seat like that, you can actually feel that. You can actually feel when you're sitting down, you can feel a bit of uncomfort the way your leg is being mashed. And imagine that if I'm 300 pounds, 350. How am I going to get any circulation? Even when I lay down, my weight is going to be cutting circulation. When I sit down, my weight is going to be cutting circulation. Seriously. It's going to be poor circulation. You're not going to have good circulation, period. I don't see how you can have good circulation when you're overweight. Because when you're overweight, you have a lot of fat, and then that skeleton is inside of that fat. And that skeleton's got to be mashing, the fat acts like a pillow. Now, you got veins and stuff in there. So, how are your veins going to adjust to you being overweight like that? I don't see how you can have good circulation. I just don't see it. It seems to me to be impossible because it's hard to have good circulation at my size, and I'm thin, if I sit down too long and don't get up and exercise and move. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real because, you've got that skeleton in there. You see, this is your bones. Your bones don't get no bigger. So you look at the picture on your left and they sit down. If they don't exercise, they're going to have problems too. Now look at the picture on your right. When they sit down, there's veins and stuff in there. Now, that gain of weight has to change those veins. Those veins, how could your veins be the exact same when you're bigger than you're supposed to be? So your veins have to be then moved or something. Okay? You understand? So you have to get that excess weight off. You just have to. There's no doubt about that. So rest in peace to Heavy D. He was a really good artist, but he definitely should have been working out. One thing that kept him going was just like Big Daddy Kane, he had a dance act. So him and Big Daddy Kane, they had dancers. So he moved a lot. And that helped Heavy D for many years. But when he stopped moving, that's when he had problems. Because he stopped moving. And it's just sad. And we see this time and time again. Time and time again. And we're seeing it too much in the music industry. We've lost a lot of great recording artists at an early age. Look, Irv Gotti, 54. Boss, 54. Heavy D, 44. And it gets worse. Big Pun, 28 years old. 28 years old from a heart attack. 28. 28 years old. A baby from food addiction. Due to Big Pon's weight, he had health issues. He had trouble breathing on February 7th and passed out in his hotel room. The paramedics attempted to revive him without success. The rapper was only 28 years old and weighed approximately 700 pounds when he passed away from heart failure. What y'all think about that? To make this interesting, put the RIPs in the chat, okay? So put the RIP to Boss, put the IRPs to Irv Gotti, put the IRPs for Heavy D, and put the IRPs for Big Pun. So when people watch this back, they'll see all of us giving these people a rest in peace in the chat, okay? So everybody, and even when this video is done, if you're watching this when it's done, go in the comment section and put the rest in peace and put their name, rest in peace, Heavy D, rest in peace, Irv Gotti, so historically their names live on in the chat and in the comment section, and it'll be nice. We'll go to the comment section and we'll see you comment over and over. Give each one their own comment, and we'll see that down the comment section or in the chat. That'll be great. And so, come on, 700 pounds. And you see, you have people, and when y'all say RMP, put their name, who you saying it to, and try to do each person, okay? Right, like how Hawkeye did, right? So the same way Hawkeye did it, y'all do it like that. So say RIP and name the people that's in this live. Now, people be pretending, y'all, that and anybody you could think in the music business that you want to say RIP to, even if they got shot or whatever, it'd still be nice. But preferably health issues, like Prodigy. He choked on the egg, but he was having problems. And when you look at people, he was only 28 years old. And then when people try to act like that's their body type, that's not true. That's not true. That's not their body type. Look at Big Pun. Look at Big Pun in 1990 and look at Big Pun in 1998. You see what I'm telling you? That's not your body type. You're telling me that he was supposed to be that size in 1988? Look at him in 1990. Look at him. What y'all think about that? Huh? What y'all think about that? You telling me that's not absolutely crazy? Look at Big Pun in the 80s and look at Big Pun in the 90s. Come on, man. What y'all think about that? 28 years old. 28. 28 years old. Basically, a form of suicide. He actually went from one side of this picture to the other side. Tell me that that's not a horror story. That's a horror story. All I could do is try to help and save some of you all from this type of disaster. We see it time and time again. Time and time again. Make it make some sense. Make it make some type of sense. Biz Markie. Same situation. Same situation. Biz Markie passed away 57. 57 years old. "57 years old. Diabetes. Diabetes. This was hard to look at all of this today, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you all giving a shout out to these people. It means a lot out there in the world. It's a good example. You all are setting a great example for everybody. Yeah, look at Biz Markie. I grew up with Biz Markie. I wouldn't say he was one of my favorite rappers, but in those days, when we used to turn on rap, we enjoyed the variety. You know, we enjoyed the variety. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be up there doing his thing, and we watch it. It was comical. And you'd wait for your favorite rapper, and you were polite, and you didn't mind watching all the rappers until it got to your favorites, you know? You know what I'm saying? And the same situation, rapper Biz Markie struggled with type 2 diabetes for many years. He was diagnosed in 2011 and was hospitalized in 2020 due to complications from the disease. So from 2011 to 2020, 9 years, he didn't make any changes. He didn't make any changes, right? Diagnosis and weight loss. Markie lost 140 pounds within 3 years of being diagnosed with diabetes. So he did try. He lost some weight, right? He did try. He told ABC News that he lost weight to improve his health and prevent the diabetes from worsening. He said that his doctors told him he could lose his feet and body parts if he didn't make changes. Hospitalization and other health issues. In 2020, Markie was hospitalized in Maryland due to complications from his diabetes. He also suffered a stroke and was reportedly in rehab facility later that year. His condition continued to decline, leading to premature reports of his death in late June. Marquis died from complications related to his diabetes. So here we have a situation where he lost 140 pounds. This was back from 2011 to 2020. Now, I've been plant-based, a vegan, since 1978. Okay? 78. Right? So 47 years. This is my 47th year. Okay? And nobody really picked up on it. It didn't become really that popular until I would say 20, probably 2018, somewhere in there. It's just really now, getting there with social media. And so poor Biz Markie, there was no information for him to get because social media wasn't really popping like that. I mean, you had MySpace and then you had Twitter and you had Facebook. But I don't think that social media really became super informative until Instagram. And I think when Instagram came, I think that increased the knowledge on YouTube. So I think these days, YouTube and Instagram have way more knowledge than was available for these people. You know what I'm saying? So poor Biz Markie, he wouldn't have been able to really know about a Dr. Sebi like that unless he got lucky in the neighborhood and he was doing something. But he didn't have the information. He didn't have the information to be able to make the necessary changes. And I think that's sad because he was only 57. So look at the numbers. Boss, kidney failure, 54 years old. Irv Gotti, diabetes, 54 years old. Heavy D, blood clot, overweight basically. Pulmonary embolism, 44 years old. Big Pun, 28 years old. Biz Markie, 57 years old. What are we doing? What are we doing? And this got to do with what they're putting in their bodies. I couldn't even put down all of the ODs from substance abuse. I didn't even put that down there. It's the same thing. I could have, but we would have been here for 3-4 hours. Because that's the backstory for a lot of this heart failures and these heart attacks. Because here we have another one, heart attack, DMX. And allegedly, supposedly, his main problem was addiction, which destroys the body. It destroys the body. And I keep trying to put it out there that if we push healthy eating, we can end a lot of these problems, because the concept of healthy eating, the healthy eating is the underpart of taking care of yourself. Because why do you feel like you should eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains and herbs and spices? Because of the mentality, what? You're trying to take care of yourself. And so what the plant-based vegan ITAL lifestyle has done for me is it makes me fight to stay alive. Because you have to fight to stay alive. Seriously. You have to fight to stay alive. Okay? Tell me I'm lying. Okay. Let's take it from the point of view of a parent. When you're a parent, aren't you fighting and struggling to keep your children alive? Think about it. From the time you have a newborn baby, y'all had babies, right? Tell me in the back of your mind how much you be trying to keep that baby alive. I mean, nobody likes to talk about this, but from the time you have a baby, the whole premise is to keep the baby alive. I mean, that's got to be about 85% of having a baby. You're trying to make sure the baby don't smother in the covers. You're trying to make sure that you don't drop the baby. You're trying to make sure the baby don't choke. I mean, y'all got children? Remember when your baby first learned how to walk? And remember how they think they could, and they try to go fast to keep their balance, and they be leaning, they be running head first. We had glass tables, and my youngest daughter, she would just be going as fast as she can, and she would fall sometime right before she hit the glass table. I kept telling the mother, you know, we're going to have to put this glass table up until she get it together. Now they got borders that you could order. They probably had them then, but I wasn't knowing about Amazon. We could have ordered a border that you could put on the table that make it soft. But man, when you got children, man, and it goes from keeping them safe around the house. You got to put everything up. You can't have no strings from the drapes hanging down. You got to make sure that the dressers is in, because they're very athletic. And you'll come in the room and your little son or your daughter will be standing on top of the dresser. And you're like, how did he get up there? And they'll pull the drawers out and be climbing in the dresser fall. They climb in the kitchen. They'll climb up in the refrigerator. I mean, woo. Then they what? They get old enough to go outside. Now you're worried about somebody grabbing them, kidnappings. You're worried about them getting hit by a car or getting hurt. Or the other kids might hurt them intentionally or accidentally. Then they got to go to school, and you're worried about them coming up missing, not crossing the street safely. They want a bike. Oh God! And then you try to tell them you got to ride on the sidewalk. You're not old enough to ride in the street. Then they get older and they ride their bike everywhere. And you're like, oh God, I hope this boy, especially the boys, I hope this boy don't get hit by no car. Because the girls, I don't know if it's still like that. The girls are kind of chill. They like to do female stuff. They like to sit on the porch and talk, and they kind of like to stay close to the house when they're young. But boys, as soon as he's old enough to ride that bike and he can go to the park by himself, oh, he's all over the world. So I'm saying that our whole life is about trying to stay alive. I'm about to turn 67 at 12 midnight, and I'm working to stay alive. If I don't work to stay alive, I will not stay alive. I have to actually work. I actually have to exercise. I actually have to check what I'm consuming. I have to check everything in my age. Because I'm going to be 67 in a few hours, and it's going to take work to make it to 77. But yet, we got DMX passed away at 50 years old from a heart attack. Man, I'm telling you, we've got to do better with our health. We've got to. We've got to. Just ain't gonna get it. It's just not. And I'm gonna keep beating that drum. And so I could try to help as many of y'all as possible, because the more of us that do better, the better it is for our children, because we can lay forth a better example. Here we go once again. 56 years old, fat man scoop. 56. Hypertension, atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Here we go again. I mean, this was heavy on me to have to look all this up. It was heavy. I'm not going to tell you no lie. To just have to hash this up and think about their families, and, it's a lot. Rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. Same situation over and over and over and over and over. Same situation. According to the Mayo Clinic, hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease is a combination of high blood pressure and the hardening of the arteries that carry oxygen and nutrients from the heart to the rest of the body, which can be caused by high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, and smoking. It is with profound sadness and very heavy hearts that we share news of the passing of the legendary and iconic Fat Man Scoop. Now, look what it says. It's a combination of high blood pressure and hardening of the arteries. So now your blood pressure's up. The blood is pumping crazy because your blood pressure's up, but your arteries is hardened, so the blood can't even get through. So imagine having high blood pressure. Imagine having a water hose that's clogged up, and you hook it to the side of the house to the faucet, and you turn it on high as it can. but it's clogged up. So instead of the water shooting out, it might bust the pipes. It might bust the hose, I mean. Think about that. You got high blood pressure and you got hardened arteries because the same food that's making you gain all this weight and that's driving your blood pressure up is calcifying your veins. Tell me that's not crazy. That you eating food that's full of cholesterol, full of salt and stuff, that's driving your high blood pressure up, and then the cholesterol and stuff is clogging the means to pump the blood while your blood pressure is high. Tell me that's not crazy. Because nobody tells us this, and we just in the world just trying to figure it out on our own. The doctors just try to give us medication. They're not into self-improvement. And we're just losing people left and right because Fat Man Scoop was only 56 years old. Listen to these numbers. Boss, 54. Irv Gotti, 54. Heavy D, 44. Big Pun, 28. Biz Markie, 57. DMX, 50. Oh, I got Irv Gotti at 55 in one place. Okay, let me see. Let me get that right. 54. Okay, 54. I'm going to read it again. Boss, 54. Irv Gotti, 54. Heavy D, 44. Big Pun, 28. Biz Markie, 57. DMX, 50. Irv Gotti, 50. Fat Man Scoop, 56. So if you could live to 100, these people have cut their life in half. In half. This is a tragedy. Rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. This is horrible. And it's like, you ever notice, where is the documentaries on this? You're going to get documentaries on R. Kelly. You're going to get documentaries on P. Diddy. You're going to get documentaries on this one, that one. Tupac's situation, Biggie. But you ain't getting no documentaries on all of these people in the recording industry that's passing away early. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? It all goes to self-care, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's substance abuse, it's the same. Food, whatever. It's what you're consuming. Cigarettes, you're consuming these things, and these things are no good for you. We got the same situation. Nate Dogg. R.I.P. to Nate Dogg. Once again, the same situation. The same situation. And Nate Dogg was only 41 years old. 41 years old. 41. 41 years old. That's just crazy. Health problems and death. Hale suffered another stroke on September 12, 2008. On March 15, 2011, Hale died at the age of 41 in Long Beach of complications of multiple strokes. Another or contributing suspect cause of death was congestive heart failure. He was entered in Long Beach at Forest Lawn Memorial Park. So once again, congestive heart failure. You know what I'm saying? Congestive heart failure. Strokes, back-to-back strokes. 41 years old. 41 years old. Now, you know he was putting something in his body that didn't belong in there. That's why early in high school, I backed away from certain substance abuse before it became abusive. I experimented with certain things, but to me, they just didn't seem healthy. And when I went, what prevented me from ever experimenting again is I went plant-based. I went vegan when I turned 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, I went vegan. And because I went vegan, that just cuts a lot of stuff right out. That's the big benefits of going vegan, going plant-based. If you go plant-based and you go vegan, and you do it for health reasons, and you start thinking, I'm doing this, I'm trying to be healthier, that's going to make you exercise. That's going to make you also cut other habits that have nothing to do with eating. It's going to cut a lot of consumption you're doing. As you get more into it, you're going to start looking at your cookware, saying, you know what? I don't know about this non-stick. Let me get some cast iron. I don't know about all this plastic. That's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to slowly eliminate plastic, which is just crazy. Do you know how hard it is to get plastic out of your life? Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You go order some food from a restaurant, they put it in that little black plastic thing. You're like, so do I got to stop ordering my food from these people? Do I have to bring my own glass dish in there and say, listen, put my food in here? I don't want it in the plastic. That look like what I'm going to have to start doing. I'm going to have to start bringing my own stuff. And it looked like it's going to get so fanatical that I'm probably just going to be not eating out pretty soon. Because I'm getting ready to turn 67 in a few hours, and I can't handle no plastic in my body. You know what I'm saying? I can't handle it. Because they just did a study, y'all, right? Did y'all see that study? Did y'all see that study? They just did a study. And they saying the amount of plastic in the human brain is estimated to be the equivalent of a standard plastic spoon. This was done at the University of New Mexico. That there's so much plastic we consuming that we got enough plastic in our brain to make a plastic spoon. What y'all think about that? We got enough plastic in our brain to make a plastic spoon. Now you tell me that's not crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Okay? No kidding. Look it up. Look it up. Because people are like, oh man, you are fanatic. Man, I'm not fanatic. We own our own. We are on our own if we want to survive. Look, CNN, human brain samples contain an entire spoon's worth of nanoplastic. Cognitively normal human brain samples collected at autopsy in early 2024 contain more tiny shards of plastic than samples collected 8 years prior, according to a new study. Overall, cadaver brain samples contain 7 to 30 times more tiny shard plastic than their kidneys and liver, said lead study author Matthew Campen, Regents professor and professor of pharmaceutical science at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. The concentrations we saw in the brain tissue of normal individuals who had an average age of around 45 or 50 years old were 4,800 micrograms per gram, or 0.48% by weight, Campton said. That's the equivalent of an entire standard plastic spoon, Campton said. Compared to the autopsy brain samples from 2016, that's about 50% higher. That would mean that our brains today are 99.5% brain and the rest is plastic. Now you tell me we don't got to get on some fanatical, like seriously. So we don't got to get a little more fanatical? I mean, ain't nobody else don't care. If we don't care, nobody cares about us. They saying plastic water bottles, but they saying mostly warming up your food in that plastic, putting it in the microwave and stuff like that. You eating with plastic forks and plastic spoons. You got straws, plastic straws. There could be plastic powder in these straws where they cut these straws. You don't know what's inside the straw when they make it millions of thousands of straws. There's probably plastic dust in there. I mean, it's plastic everywhere. You go to the grocery store, you buy your food, it's in a plastic bag. Water bottles. Some people buy water, they buy it in the plastic. Almost all the water is in plastic. You know, I just bought some coffee at Starbucks. The top is plastic. This is plastic. They trying to make it like some type of papery plastic, but it's still plastic. You know, this, and I don't even know if this is any good. I got a brand new air fryer, G-Rock. I threw it in the garbage. I never used it. I did some research on it. I threw it in the garbage. You have to get the all-metal air fryer. You can't get the air fryer that's got no plastic on it. So I got to go back and buy another one. Okay? You can use air fryers, but you got to get the all-metal one. Okay? You have to get the all-metal air fryer because the plastic is a problem. And mine had that black plastic all over it. So I threw it away. This one's only $179. I need to order it. This is the one that I need to get. See, there's none of that black plastic in the inside. And this is an air fryer and a convection toaster. It is the one I'm gonna get. I just threw it in the garbage. And it's crazy because for some reason I just never used it. Because you know what? My air fryer always looked suspicious to me. I got to get rid of my juicer. It's full of plastic. My blender, I got to get a glass blender. I got to throw that in the garbage. You ever get a blender and you start noticing that the plastic container in the blender starts getting like dull where it won't shine no more? Where did all of that plastic part go? So right now I'm trying to redo my whole cooking situation. Because I don't want, and then try to detox my body and get this stuff out of my body. Because I know I'm full of plastic. How could I not be? No, they got the blender. It's not the blender part. It's the glass. So the bottom part could be plastic. Just the part you put in your drinks or whatever you blend in, it needs to be glass. The bottom is not going to matter because that's not going to get over in the glass. The problem is when the container, you know what I'm saying? The problem is the container. So I got to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? And I got to get a glass blender. I got to get glass. Man, I'd rather just spend the money and do that. I ain't got time to be going to no doctors with no cancer and all this stuff. I don't got time. So I'm going to get one like this. That's got the glass. But I really don't like that plastic top on there either. Which is a whole business opportunity for us black people if we got into health. Because now we can go to develop one that ain't got no plastic top on it or nothing. We can develop one that's got a glass top. It's all glass. Ain't no plastic nowhere. See, we'll get money. We'll get money. If black Americans or black people, period, from Africa, Caribbean, all over the world, if we got into some heavy, the rubber's a problem because I got this blender and the rubber started breaking off. I'm like, how much rubber did I drink? See? Wide open business opportunity for us. If we go extra healthy, we could corner the market. Especially between blacks internationally, because Africa got a lot of the stuff we need. A lot of this stuff we can have manufactured in Africa and shipped to Europe, the Caribbean, South and Central America, and America, and have the black companies getting in front of black brothers in Africa And we could be like, oh, we can open up a whole health industry. Know what I'm saying? Dishes, glass dishes, cups, all that. I mean, we could just, you know what I'm saying? We'll shut the game down. No plastic. Oh, nothing. No rubber, no plastic. Touch your food. It's all stainless steel and glass. Cast iron, stuff like that. We'll shut the whole, we'll shut it down. Because as I just showed you, you know, you got to fight to stay alive. So once again, rest in peace to Nate Dogg. And we're going to read the numbers again. Boss, kidney failure, 54 years old. Irv Gotti, diabetes, 54 years old. Heavy D, pulmonary embolism, 44 years old. Big Pun, heart attack, 28 years old. Bismarck E, diabetes, 57 years old. DMX, heart attack, 50 years old. Fat Man Scoop, hypertension, arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease, 56 years old. Nate Dogg, multiple strokes, congestive heart failure, 41 years old. 41 years old, y'all. 41 years old. This ain't making no kind of sense. It's not making no sense. Not to me. There's going to have to be some changes, y'all. There's going to have to be some changes. And I'm going to beat that drum, and that's why I started this channel just for that. Because I noticed that certain people, they didn't want to, they don't want to really deal with that. They don't want to watch my presentations about health. But that's all right. Those that do, you will benefit greatly from this channel. So make sure you support the channel. Contribute to the channel. Because this is going to be the place to be. To encourage you. It's not going to hurt you to eat better. It's not going to hurt you to take care of yourself. Okay? It's not going to hurt you at all. It's going to help you. And it's going to make you, especially you men and women, it's going to make you better leaders in the family. It's going to make you better leaders. That's what it's going to do for your family as we go into the future, because these health issues is driving us to the poorhouse. Because just look in these terms. You're trying to work and you're trying to build a portfolio of finances for your family, right? And you got your plans to get your money really together by retirement. So that means when you're in your late 40s and in your 50s, you at the final grind before retirement. So imagine doing all this money. You probably going to get the house paid off around late 40s, maybe 50, depending on what kind of deal you got with the house, how much money you got. But most people, I would imagine, you're going to be, I don't see you making big investments like that. Typically, not if you ball and boom, your house going to be paid for in your 20s, early 30s. But the average person that's working a job, that's working to retirement, you're probably going to be knocking that out around in your 50s, which, okay, now you own your house. You're like 49, 50 years old. You basically own your house. Now you're stacking your retirement money. You got equity in your home. You probably own your fourth car or something. So your car at 50, your car is pretty much new. If you're married, you and your wife probably got a nice car that could last y'all on through after retirement because you're going to be driving less. It's going to be in the garage. You got two cars. You ain't going to necessarily want to buy another car at that age. You're not going to be trying to stunt and all of that. So imagine start having medical problems and health problems in your late 50s. And what's happening is these people are getting sick in their late 50s, early 50s, late 40s, 60, like my mother, 70, like my mother in her 70s. So now at the time of her life where she's really getting ready to retire, she's got these high medical expenses for cancer. These medical expenses, your insurance does not cover it like that. You're not working like you're supposed to. That you're thinking they tell you these high numbers when you get this insurance, but when you go to the hospital, the numbers are higher. The cancer medicine is ridiculous. You wouldn't believe what you pay for like 7 pills, right? So many of these older people, they go into the hospital to fight cancer. They feel like they're going to beat it, be able to go back to work to knock out the rest that they have to do for retirement. But they don't. So now one of them passes away. That leaves us. So they come in and then they give you these reverse mortgages. They give you these, set you up. Well, listen, you don't got to pay your house off. You could either pay it off, or what you could do is you could live in it until you pass away, and then the bank will take it. And they doing that. Black people especially are losing homes everywhere for the next generation because of these reverse mortgages. And these reverse mortgages is based off of health problems. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You better listen to me. Don't let nobody tell you about their job and all of this. This is something my family went through. Right? Check this out. Look for yourself. Look what it says. Cancer medication can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, and out of pocket costs can be high even with insurance. I'm going to read that again because some people thinking you getting money. Listen to me. Cancer medication can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, and out of pocket costs can be high even with insurance. The median annual cost of cancer medication was $196,000 in 2023. Gene and viral therapies were the most expensive, with a median annual cost of $448,000. Chemotherapy medication can cost between $1,000 and $12,000 per month. Out-of-pocket costs. Patients with good insurance may still have out-of-pocket costs of $10,000 a year. Patients may face out-of-pocket costs of nearly $12,000 per year for one medication. Imagine you got 3. Patients may spend between $10,000 and $15,000 out of pocket for 1 year of treatment with a single medication. Impact on patients. High medication prices can make cancer treatments unaffordable for many patients. Patients may refuse curative therapy due to financial concerns. Financial anxiety is a huge burden on patients who are already under immense stress. So, in other words, you ain't going to be able to heal because you're going to be too stressed out. You ain't at work. What you going to do? Don't be then retired and be on a fixed income. You're done. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, this is sad. And look how many brothers and sisters we lost at an early age. Early. Early in their life. They gone. Think about that. Early in your life. You young. You out here, you making music, you doing your thing. You trying to get your money. You trying to have a great career. And you out here partying and you doing all this stuff and you got no guidance. You ain't taking your health serious. You thinking material things. And you end up, the material things end up lasting longer than you and being sold and being just given to anybody because you're not even here to enjoy the fruits of your labor because you didn't eat fruits. You know what I'm saying? You didn't eat fruits. And so you didn't eat fruits. So you lose your fruits, basically, because you wasn't taught the facts about life. And how could you get the facts about life in the industry that's making money off of you? I just showed you how much you got to pay for the medical expenses. You know what I'm saying? Here we got another brother, 47 years old, Craig Mack, heart failure. Heart failure. 27 years old. Heart failure. 47. 47 years old. Heart failure. 47. Gone. All because these brothers and sisters, nobody showed them how to take care of themselves. Nobody showed them. Nobody showed them how to take care of themselves. And now they got to live with the turmoil of it. You understand? Look at the numbers again. Boss, kidney failure, 54 years old. Irv Gotti, diabetes, 54 years old. Heavy D, pulmonary embolism, 44 years old. Big Pun, heart attack, 28 years old. Biz Markie, diabetes, 57 years old. DMX, heart attack, 50 years old. Fat Man Scoop, hypertension and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, 56 years old. Nate Dogg, multiple strokes, congestive heart failure, 41 years old. Craig Mack, heart failure, 47 years old. Gone. 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 What y'all think about that? Give everybody that give them an RIP in the chat. That's the least we could do for them. And these are the ones that passed away. ODB, I didn't even get into all the ones that OD'd. I didn't even go down that because it would have been all day. So I just had to just skip past that. I had to skip past that because it was just too many. You know what I'm saying? It was just too many. I couldn't deal with, I had to skip past everybody with the HIV, with the gun shootings. Look, here we go. Look, Eazy-E, 30 years old. Tupac, 25. Drive-by. Eazy-E, HIV. Tupac, drive-by, 25. Notorious B.I.G., drive-by, 24. Big L, drive-by, 24. Big Pun, heart failure, 28. DJ Screw, 29. OD. Aaliyah, plane crash, 22. Left Eye, car accident, 30. Jam Master Jay, 37. Shot. Sabotage, 29. Shot. Camouflage, 21. Shot. Half a Meal, 30. Shot. Soldier Slim, 26. Shot. Mac Dre, 34. Shot. Old Dirty ODB, 35. OD. Blade, Icewood, 28. Shot. Jay Dilla, 32. Complications of TTP and lupus. Proof, 32. Shot. Big Hawk, 36. Shot. Big Mo, 33. Heart attack. Pimp C, 33. OD. Static Major, 33. Respiratory arrest. Dollar, 21. Shot. Guru, 48. Cancer. Nate Dogg, 41. Multiple strokes. Heavy D, 44. Pulmonary embolism. Lil Fat, 19. Shot. Lil JoJo, 18. Shot. Capital Steez, 19. Suicide. Tim Dog, 46. Diabetes, although some people say they believe he had faked his death. That's what they saying. Lil Jeff, 21. Shot. Lil Snoopy, 18. Shot. Deb Zeman, 18. Stabbed. L.A. Capone, shot, 17. Speaker knockers, 19. Heart attack from codeine. Lil Mark, 20. Shot. Blood Money, 30. Shot. OTF Newski, 21. Shot. The Jacker, 37. Shot. Chinks Drugs, 31. Shot. Young Pappy, 20. Shot. KTS Vaughn, 21. Shot. GBE Capo, 22. Shot. Dex Usama, 22. Shot. Bankroll Fresh, 28. Shot. OG Man, 23. Shot. Lord Scota, 23. Shot. Shawty Low, 41. Car accident. Big Sight, 48. Natural causes. Shotter Shell, 21. Shot. FBG Brick, 26. Shot. Prodigy, 42. Complications related to sickle cell anemia. No, he choked on the egg. Lil Peep, 21. Accidental OD. Fredo Santana, 27. Seizure caused by cardiovascular disease. Craig Mack, 47. Heart failure. XXX Testacion, 20, shot. Jimmy Wopo, 21, shot. Mac Miller, 26, OD. Dosky the Man, 25, shot. Lil Mister, 23, shot. Nipsey Hussle, 33, shot. Juice World, 21, seizures from codeine. Oxycodone. Lexi Alige, 21, OD. Pop Smoke, 20, shot. Richie Jerk, 22, shot. Houdini, 21, shot. Trey Savage, 26, shot. Huey, 32, shot. Groggs, 32, unknown. Lil Marlo, 30, shot. FBG Duck, 26, shot. MF Doom, 49, Angioedema. King Von, 26, shot. Mo 3, 28, shot. Baby CEO, 20, shot. Six Dogs, 20, apparent suicide. DMX, 50, heart attack due to OD. Shock G, 57, accidental OD. Lil Loaded, 20, suicide. KTS Dre, 31, shot 64 times. Biz Markie, 57, type 2 diabetes. Eat 600, 32, shot. Young Dolph, 36, shot. Big Wham, 19, shot. Slim 400, 33, shot. Drakeo the Ruler, 28, stab. Sad Frosty, 24, OD. Lil Key, 24, eosinophilia. Old Trap Star, 22, car crash. 23, Rex, 16, shot. Trouble, 34, shot. FBG Cash, 31, shot. Nadi Osama, 14, stab. Jada Youngin, 24, shot. Pat Stay, 36, stab. PNB Rock, 30, shot. Coolio, 59, heart attack due to OD. Takeoff, 28, shot. E-Dot Baby, 17, suicide. Aaron Carter, 34, OD. Big Scar, 22, OD. Gangsta Boo, 43, OD. Costa Titch, 28. I had a seizure. Big Pokey, 48, heart attack. M.EBK, 18, shot. Big Motor, 37, shot. THFTP, 30, shot. Bloodhound Lil Jeff, 21, shot. Julio Fulio, 26, shot. Lil Scoon, 18, shot. Fat Man Scoop, 56, heart attack. Rich Homie Quan, 34, OD. Lame Pain, 31, severe injuries by falling from a balcony. Landlord Low, 27, shot. Joker OTV, 17, shot. There you have it. So if you're not hurting yourself, somebody else hurting you. Most of these, they ain't in their right mind. They consuming the wrong products, and that's why the violence is up. If they was eating right and taking care of themselves, they would not be that violent. These kids is around here, they own them perks, and they own these things. I know a detective, he said they catch them, they be done committed, they be done unalive somebody, and they say they catch them, and they say when they bring them to the jail to interrogate them, the detectives told us that they have to wait 2 days before they can interrogate them because they be out of their mind. They don't know nothing. And he said 2 days later, he said in like 80% of the interrogations, 2 days later, they don't remember nothing. And these is the top detectives. And he said, y'all, I'm one of the top detectives. I could tell when you lying or not. And he said, they don't be lying. They don't remember nothing. He said, he said, we got any film or any witnesses, they go into prison because they don't know, they can't say nothing. They don't remember where they was at, what they was doing, or nothing. He said, 8 out of 10 of them, when they get them, they don't know nothing. They be that gone off of them medications, them illegal medications they taking illegally, and they be out of their mind. And that's just all the ones that passed away. We got brothers like Brother Freeway that didn't take care of himself at all. And do all that rapping, but didn't take care of himself. And now he's still just a shell of himself. He ain't what he used to be. Philadelphia rapper Freeway was hospitalized in 2015 and 2019 for kidney disease. He was diagnosed with kidney failure and received a kidney transplant. In 2015, Freeway felt tired and attributed it to touring. He went to the doctor and was diagnosed with kidney failure. He had risk factors for kidney disease, including diabetes, hypertension, and being an African American, which is not true. Being an African American has nothing to do with it. He was not taking care of himself and eating right. Okay? Okay, you know, they claim all this religious stuff. The music, they don't be religious. And they don't eat right. Okay? He received dialysis treatment at MedStar Good Samaritan Hospital. He had surgery to move a vein in his arm to make it easier to access for dialysis. They couldn't even find his veins in his arm. In February 2019, he received a kidney transplant. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Beanie, I think Beanie got shot. Isn't that why Beanie went in there? I thought Beanie had got shot. Oh, yeah, he did have diabetes too. Yeah, Beanie had the diabetes, but that's wasn't his main problem. This was his problem. They say there's not much info right now about Benny Siegel's diabetes treatment, but here's some information about his health. Benny Siegel is a rapper who was wounded in a drive-by shooting in 2004. He had a lung removed after complications during surgery. Then it said Freeway, another rapper, has kidney disease and receives dialysis treatment 3 times a week. He has also changed his diet and is on the lookout for a kidney transplant. So this is before he got the kidney transplant. But Beanie had lost a lung. So that's why I didn't mention him. because he had lost a lung. But Freeway had to get the kidney transplant. And then you got Scarface. Scarface, same situation. Didn't take care of himself. Didn't take care of himself at all. Scarface was hospitalized in the ICU at Houston Methodist Hospital in August 2024. He shared a photo on Instagram of himself in the hospital bed writing, "Ouch, grateful." He was in cardiovascular intensive care unit CICU. The CICU specializes in treating patients with severe heart disease and other conditions. He didn't specify the reasons for his hospitalization. The Houston Chronicle noted that one of the medical staff in the photo was associated with CICU, but he already had problems. In 2021, he received a kidney transplant from his son, Chris Jordan. He was diagnosed with COVID 19 in March 2020 and suffered kidney failure after being in the hospital for 3 weeks. I was at stroke level, admitted to Houston MC. I had it all: congestive heart failure, malignant high blood pressure, kidney damage, enlarged heart, sleep apnea, borderline diabetic. My life was threatened. So if someone in the streets threatened my life, he better make good on it because I have to kill him or he's going to kill me. So I had to kill bad health. And he never took care of himself. He was a mess. Okay? He was a mess. He was a mess. He never took care of himself. He took it for a joke. He was way, 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 way overweight. That's why we didn't see him much because he didn't look like the Scarface we know, and he was in no type of mental or physical health to do nothing. This is why Scarface's career didn't go nowhere. Scarface's career didn't go where it was supposed to go because of health issues, mentally and physically, especially physically. Because if you eat right, that will alter your mental health. Okay? What you eat affects your physical health and mental health, according to me. These are not facts by the Medical Association. So don't say that I said this is from the medicals. This is my opinion that even going to therapy or whatever, you're going to need the proper nutrition to respond to any mental health treatment. This is why some schools ban flaming hot Cheetos and potato chips in the school because they were saying that this red stuff and this hot stuff made the children too hyperactive and they misbehaved. And so in many of the schools, they had to ban that. Parents had to ban that. Okay? Okay? Because they were saying it was affecting the children. Right? So some of the schools said they didn't want it. Okay? And they consider it banning that in California altogether. Okay? Why? Because it's affecting the children's health. And it's making them hard to sit still. California could ban additives found in Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Twink, and Twinkies from school meals. California lawmakers have voted to ban food additives linked to behavioral issues in kids from school lunchrooms. That means snacks like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Twinkies, and more will no longer be allowed in school cafeterias across the state. Stores may still sell the food products, though under the first of its kind legislation California called the California School Food Safety Act. The controversial ingredients include food dyes blue 1, blue 2, green 3, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, which give color to snacks like Doritos, Fruit Loops, and Fruity Pebbles cereals, and Jolly Ranchers candy. Advocates for the ban argue that additives have no nutritional value and are used solely for superficial purposes and can cause health problems. Red number 3 has been found to cause cancer in animals, and red number 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6 have been found to be contaminated with carcinogens like benzidine, which can increase one's risk of developing cancer, according to a 2012 study from the National Institute of Health. California Assembly member Jesse Gabriel, the bill's author, said the legislation could prompt changes in how these type of dangerous foods are marketed to children beyond California, and could even lead to companies changing the way they formulate such snacks. So as you can see, they are claiming that California lawmakers have voted to ban additives linked to behavioral issues. Okay? Behavioral issues. And so these situations definitely are no good. And adults are eating these things. Adults are eating these things. And now you imagine a young gang member in Chicago eating these type of things, constantly listening to music that fits his mentality, right? And has no comprehension of mentality of trying to stay alive. So the main key is, because there's no effort to get people to want to stay alive, right? If they're not interested in staying alive, how interested are they going to be in letting you stay alive? And how interested are they going to be in their future when they go out and commit these heinous crimes? It all goes together. It all goes under the fact that we're not teaching people to stay alive. Most of the problems in the world are based on that, including the wars, including the unnecessary car accidents. What kind of mentality you got? I just seen a video where a young dude ran into somebody going 70 miles an hour while he was on his phone. Do you know what kind of mentality you got to have to get in the car and just drive as fast as you can and run lights? You have a mentality. You don't have a staying alive mentality. And so it's just deeper than just going plant-based or just going vegan. It's the concept of really looking on how you could stay alive. So, like, as a plant-based vegan, I don't eat meat. But if you're eating meat and you're eating it from the point of view that you think it could keep you alive, then do what you think is best. But just don't eat it because it just tastes good. We have to get rid of the mentality that I'm going to die anyway. Because this is the mentality we've been having in America, especially. Well, you're going to die anyway. Well, you're going to die anyway. And then people get sick. And do they want to die anyway? No. When they get sick, what do? They run willing to get a kidney from their own family member. They run trying to get dialysis, trying to get whatever. This is the opposite of what you be saying when you be eating. When you be eating, you say, well, you're going to die anyway. But then when you get sick, you don't want to die anyway. And that, to me, is the most confusing and phony part. That's absolutely phony. So if these brothers ever said you're going to die anyway, they was lying. They were lying. Okay? They were lying. They were not cool. Freeway was not cool with dying anyway, and neither was Scarface. They were lying. And these type of people attack me all the time when I try to save lives and try to get y'all to take your life and your children's life and your family life more serious. Don't let nobody just sell you whatever. You see, when I read that, they said those colors is in Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers, when I was a child in the 60s, used to be called wine candies. And when they were called wine candies, they was all natural. Natural flavors. They were so natural that if you were like in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, the parents would not let you eat the cherry ones because you would get like a little drunk, a little tipsy from the cherry wine candies because it was real cherry. And what was the name of it? Wine candy. So it was really wine. It just wasn't to the point where it had a high alcohol content in it, but it obviously did. My mother wouldn't let us eat them. When we come back from the store, she said, dump that candy out. You can't eat these red ones. So I asked my mother, I said, why you can't eat them? She said, because you make you drunk. You be around here acting silly and I got to make you go to bed. And then my mother told me a story. She born in Alabama. She said she used to sit in Alabama and look out the window at the cherry tree. And she used to watch the birds come and land and eat the cherries. And my mother told me that the birds would eat the cherries and then they would fall out under the tree with their feet, their legs straight up in the air. 7, 8, 9 birds laying under the tree with their feet straight up in the air. And she said they would lay there for a little while, maybe 30, 45 minutes. Then she said you'll see them shake and get up and then fly off. Because my mother said they would get drunk from eating those cherries and would fall out under the tree. And so listen, if you haven't learned anything, learn to lose some weight. Lose some weight because your body is supposed to be like this. And that extra weight you got is not natural. You don't have big bones. You have the same skeleton. And you're going to have problems. I have friends. I'm about to be 67 in less than 2 hours. And I have friends that are overweight. I have a female friends that's overweight and they have to get a knee replacement. And once they get one knee replacement, after about 2 or 3 years, they got to get the other knee replacement. Because as you can see from the picture on the right, your skeleton cannot hold that weight. Okay? And make sure you all support the channel, right? Cash App, PayPal. And so they have to get knee replacements. And look at your hip. Look at the picture on the right and look at your hip and look at the weight. So they have to often get hip replacements. Sometimes they have to get their shoulders taken care of. Most all the time, their backs hurt because that skeleton is trying to hold up all that weight. And even when you're sitting down, that skeleton's got to hold that weight. So it's not just about going plant-based or just about eating right. It's about a total mentality of trying to stay alive. Okay? You have to try to stay alive. You all, please listen to me. You have to work to stay alive. And that's a whole 360 holistic program. This includes security in your home, making sure your windows can't be just people can't climb into your windows. Like, seriously, it's not just about eating right. It's a holistic plan to stay alive. You're trying to monitor how much did you drink this year? When was the last time you had a drink? Like, let's take me. When was the last time I had a drink? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I think I was live, but it's so far in between that I honestly can't tell you when I had a drink. Seriously. I had some honey wine at the Ethiopian restaurant, but that's not really liquor. Not really. It's just honey. It's supposed to be wine, but it's not really alcohol-y. A little bit, but you can sit and drink a whole bottle and you won't really be drunk, right? So it's just for taste purposes and just to experience Ethiopian culture. But, I don't go to the Ethiopian restaurant every blue moon. I got a bunch of liquor in my cabinet here at the office. It's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. As my birthday coming up, I don't know. I might drink some of it. I might not. I don't think I will because I don't feel like it. I don't see where drinking, I don't see what that has to do with my birthday. But who knows what I'll do later on the night. I might, but not right now. This tonight, maybe the next tonight, 11 o'clock tomorrow, because here in Chicago, it's still just the 21st. So maybe the night of the 22nd, I might, but I kind of doubt it. Because, for what? For me, a birthday means more push-ups, more sit-ups, more walking, bike riding, drinking more water, stuff like that. So for me, a birthday is, the way I'm looking at my birthday is I need to have another one. I'm not looking at like, oh, this birthday represents I made it from the last birthday. And the people don't understand what they celebrate. When you celebrate your birthday and when you celebrate New Year's, you're celebrating that you're still alive. You're not celebrating the future where you're going. You're celebrating where you came from, that you made it from the last birthday. Because there's people not having another birthday. They had their last birthday. You don't want to have your last birthday. You want to have another one and another one and another one. And if you pass away, it should be a surprise. Anybody could pass away, but it needs to be a surprise. If I go to the doctor and they say, oh, you got this and that, you got so much months to live, I would be surprised. I don't want to drink every day and go to the doctor and they say you got cirrhosis of the liver, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm smoking cigarettes every day. I go and say I got lung cancer. I'm not surprised because I actually gave myself lung cancer. I need to be surprised. I don't want to just walk into my death and I don't want to cause my own death. I don't want to die from suicide from food, suicide by cigarette, suicide by pharmaceuticals, suicide by alcohol, suicide by driving. I'm not with that. Suicide with unprotected sex with all type of strangers. I ain't going like that. So take care of yourself. That's all I can tell you. Support the channel. I appreciate you all watching. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And like, share, and subscribe. And send this to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Send this out. Maybe if they see the story of all these recording artists, maybe it'll help them. And whatever y'all do, take care of yourself. Subscribe to the channel. Get all your friends to subscribe to the channel. And also, anytime you got subjects you want me to cover concerning health and eating, put it in the chat or put it in the comments on YouTube and we'll cover it, okay? Pretty soon we got interviews coming. That's going to be crazy. So we're going to have some of the best interviews you've ever seen. I'm just not doing it until I build up more subscribers on the channel. Because I don't want to bring all these popular people over here when they don't got hardly, I don't have no viewers yet. And it's very hard to get viewers about taking care of yourself. They prefer gossip, and things like that, which to each his own. I think you can enjoy those type of things, but you got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. So whatever you do, look, please take care of your health. Take care of your health. That's all you got. All you got in this world is your health. Without your health, you have absolutely nothing in this world. You can't do nothing. You can't achieve nothing. And many times, when people get sick, that's when they start thinking about everything they didn't complete. They take it for granted. But when they get sick, that's when they think about, oh man, my grandbaby. Oh man, who gonna take my mother to the store? Who gonna take mommy to the doctor? This is when all these things start coming to you. All these things start coming to you when you mess your life up, how much you got to do. And you're like, I got too much to do. I can't go right now. So always remember, health is wealth. Health is wealth. So eat right and take care of yourself, all right? V is for victory and V is for go vegan. All right? To everybody out there, vegans, salute. Be plant-based, salute. All the Yardman them, all the Jamaicans and Rasta them out there, Ital is vital. Eat to live, right? And much respect to Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Savior's Day is coming up, and he's one of the main ones that really told Black Americans way back that you got to eat to live. And so much respect to Honorable Elijah Muhammad And much respect to Dr. Sabi and all the other greats that have really tried to get us to take care of ourselves. You know, there's been a lot of great people that have tried to help us and tried to show us to take care of ourselves. A lot of great people. A lot of great people. And much respect to all of them for their hard work to try to get us to eat right and take care of ourselves, because that's all we got in this world. And, you know, I know a lot of y'all, you got children and things like that you just can't afford. You know, you can't afford to just throw your life away. You're going to have to get serious, y'all. You can't afford to just throw your life away. You can't afford to be taking your life for granted. I can't say this enough. You cannot afford to take your life for a joke. You're going to have to take your life serious. You're going to have to. Nobody's going to tell you this. Nobody's going to beat that drum like that. So I guess I got to do it. And I don't mind doing it. But this situation definitely have to stop, because look how many great recording artists we done lost. All because of lack of taking care of themselves and taking it serious. You know, they didn't take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They didn't take it serious. And they no longer here. So shout out to Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dick Gregory, Alvenia Fulton, and all the others that have tried to help us take care of ourselves. Many have tried to help us take care of ourselves. Miss Fulton, she's the one that got Dick Gregory in the gang. Much respect to her. Get these, if you can, pick that up, read it, pick that up, read it. Get the original one right here, Eat to Live, if you can find it by Alvenia Fulton, or download it in PDF or whatever. And take care of yourself, that's all I can tell you, because health is definitely wealth. And if you don't take care of your health, ain't nobody else going to do it for you. Nobody's going to take care of you. Nobody's going to take care of your health for you. You know what I'm saying? And we had some really great people that spent their life trying to get us to take care of ourselves. So make sure you do that. Eat right. And if you're trying to eat better, go to www.veganintel.com and get the easiest way to become a vegan and change the way you eat, okay? Vegan victory.
health, and longevity. If you want to consume more plant-based foods, if you want to abstain from junk foods, if you want to consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and herbs, and avoid dead flesh, artificial flavors and colorings, sweeteners, anything that is unreal basically, purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Ramesses El Aton, who has been a vegan 40 plus years. He will take you step by step on how to abstain from the junk foods, how to abstain from the dead flesh, the chicken, the turkey, the pork, beef, and all sorts of animal products. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan, to eat more natural. Remember that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Consume of every fruit-bearing and herb-bearing tree. Unto you it shall be for meat. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Ramesses El Aton. Peace, health, and longevity.